Oh, you're so cool, Brewster. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying your evening today, and I want to talk about one of my favorite horror movies from the 1980s, Fright Night. Now, Fright Night from 1985 was directed by, wait for it, it's Tom Holland. Yes, not that Tom Holland, but another Tom Holland. Okay, this film stars William Ragsdale, Amanda Burse, Roddy McDowall, you know him from Planet of the Apes, and God rest his soul, Stephen Jeffries, who for me I think is the absolute star of this movie, but I'll talk about him a bit later on. And last but not least, Chris Sarandon. Yes, that is Susan Sarandon's ex-husband. For the longest time before the internet was even a thing, I thought they were brother and sister. That was the rumor that was always flying around. Nope, they were actually once a married couple. But Fright Night is a great concept because you have this one world of Peter Vincent, played by McDowall. And Peter Vincent, yes, it's an amalgamation of Peter Cushing, Vincent Price. And the reason why he's named that because he's the host of a television show called Fright Night. Kind of like the Twilight Zone, but more supernatural. And you know, he's a fictionalized character, and he kills all these vampires and werewolves and everything on that show, until one day he is approached by Charlie Brewster, played by Ragsdale, who tells him that a vampire is living next door. What a great setup. I mean, from here, it just gets more ludicrous, more insane. Charlie's girlfriend, played by Burse, doesn't believe him at first. I kind of like the rhyming there. That wasn't meant to happen, but I like it. I'm keeping that. That is staying in this video. Yeah, basically what happens, Brewster visits the house of Jerry Dandridge, as played by Chris Sarandon, and fails to prove that he's a vampire, even calling in a local police detective who just warns him, you call me again, your ass is in jail. So that was quite funny. How he managed to convince a police officer to turn up there in the first place is, I don't know, it's insane. And what I like about this film so much, I mean, there's one thing that I have a niggling point about, but I'll talk about it in a second. But Brad Fiedel, you know him from the Terminator films. He's been brought on here to do this score, and it is fantastic. It is far removed from the Terminator scores that he did. And they even have a nightclub scene where Chris Sarandon, or should I say Jerry Dandridge, zooms in on Amanda Burse. But this time you don't have a Kyle Reese protecting his Sarah Connor. It is Brewster trying and failing epically to protect his girlfriend Burse from the charms of the ever suave and sophisticated Jerry Dandridge. I gotta say one thing about his vampire iteration, it is so refreshing. I mean, you might as well call him Dracula. I mean, he's tall, dark, handsome, he's got the dark hair, but the way he acts, I mean, this vampire eats apples. I never understood that, but it's a great gag. I love it. Even to this day, watching this film again, I've still got a man crush on Chris Sarandon. The dude still looks good. I mean, I do remember James Woods in the film Vampires talking about Euro trash vampires, and I think Chris Sarandon kind of has that feel about him, except he's not trashy, he's very classy. He's got a housemate called Billy, but I always wonder about their relationship, if they were just more than just housemates. Kind of a nice, clever little twist, actually. It was just meant to make you guess all the time. The real star of this film, though, I feel, is Stephen Jeffries as Evil Ed.
Did you finally find out what you're really like?
Buzz off, evil.
Oh, call me anything you want. Only you're the one failing Trig, not me.
Every time he's on screen, he's just funny, charismatic, he's got that crazy wild hair. Now, one thing that I love about Roddy McDowall's characterization in this film is that when we first see him, he's the host of Fright Night. He is Peter Vincent, the world's greatest vampire killer. And then when he gets transformed into the real world of killing a real-life vampire, that is just a great setup. I can't think of many films these days that actually even invest the time into setting up a character like that and making them so likable. And yes, they did make a sequel to this film. I have not watched it yet. Unfortunately, Stephen Jeffries, who plays Evil Ed, declined to return to reprise his part. What a shame, because I'd love to have seen that. But I will say, if you haven't checked out Fright Night from 1985, do yourself a favor, man. Do it. It's a great time. It's a good time. Don't bother with the remake with Colin Farrell and Imogen Poots. I mean, again, she's probably the only reason why I watched that movie, but the remake is nowhere as imaginative or as great as this 1985 classic. I mean, look at that picture up there. In fact, that's the makeup on the vampires as well is just outrageous. It's just something I've never seen before. Now, the one little gripe I had about this movie is when Jerry Dandridge seduces Amy Peterson, played by Amanda Bearse. She reminds him of a long lost love that he has, whose portrait he's got in the mansion that he lives in. He just uses her just to get her boyfriend to turn up to rescue her. That's what it is. The editing in this film is so great. The pacing is so fast and furious, and it never lets up. It's really, really good. So Fright Night, directed by Tom Holland, 1985, guys. Are you enjoying these videos? Are you loving Halloween? If so, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you on my next Halloween film review.
This is Brewster. Thank God the phone wires have been cut. I know.
I did it!
You can run, but you can't hide!